Welcome back to Beholder to One Shot. We are here today with part 2 of our Savage Worlds Deadlands game with Ellen, Alan, and Mary. We also have Keith here, my husband, who will be playing Brother Wolf or Greg. And we will go ahead and introduce everybody again. Ellen, why don't you get started and tell us where everybody can find you?
Sure. Hi, I'm Ellen Delina. You can find me at Ellen_Delina on Twitter. Or you could find me GMing the Birdhouse Mysteries, a Savage Worlds actual play fantasy podcast. That's at Birdhouse Myst, MYST on Twitter. Yeah, that's who I am. I'm your Marshal today.
Okay. Alan, your turn.
Hi, I'm Alan Holloway, and you can find me on Twitter at TTRPG, as well as all the other social media platforms. I'm most likely you can find me Friday nights over on twitch.tv/mini-terrain-domain, where I run a Curse of Strahd 5e campaign. And on alternate Wednesdays, you can find me on my own Twitch channel at CFTRPG, where I run a Savage Worlds version of Curse of Strahd that Ellen also plays in. Yeah, and I'm excited to play. I'm excited to get back into Jericho McCraw, the bounty hunter, in this Savage Worlds one shot.
That is a 2 or 3 shots.
Yeah, that's how it starts, and then it's a campaign.
I don't have time for that, please, now. Mary, your turn.
Hey everybody, I'm Mary Kate Mead. You can find me on Twitter at NerdOnWheels15, and I do a lot with the GM table. We do actual plays for performers by performers, and you can check out our stuff there. We also have a YouTube channel where we go over different types of gaming and how to GM. And tonight I'm playing Eliza O'Day, the huckster that isn't totally manipulative, but she'll use you to get what she wants.
Fantastic. I will be playing Annabelle McDrew. I'm Nikki, obviously the host here. And Keith will be playing Brother Wolf. Annabelle has a little bit of a drinking problem and likes to shoot first and ask questions later. And Brother Wolf is... Would you like to introduce, or would you like me to?
I would. So I'm Keith Yeager. I am Nikki's super amazing husband. You can find me on Twitter at Keith_bits. And I don't do a whole lot of D&D stuff, but I have some on there, mostly like web development and stuff like that. But I do love D&D. I play it all the time. And I will be filling in for Greg today and hopefully not ruining his character. So
He also made our website, so if you want to check that out, beholdertonoone.com. And you want to hire him to make you a website. That might, I don't know, maybe that's an option. I don't know.
yes.
It's an option, guys. Do it. Anyway, Ellen, why don't you take it away?
So, everybody make a fear roll. So roll spirit, and it's at -1.
So Brother Wolf is immediately just going to grab his cross and just be like, oh my god.
A piece of Benny!
Oh, that's a double 1 for me.
Oh no!
Oh no!
All right, I'm making a.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolf got a 9.
Let me bring up ye old fear table.
Keith, just so you know, you can re-roll your dice, but if you roll double 1s, you cannot.
Like anytime?
If you spend a penny, you can re-roll.
Yeah.
But
I think I'm good with a 9.
yeah, if you get a crit fail, you cannot. And what did Jericho get?
Well, I tried to spin a couple of bennies, but even with that, with the -1, I got a 3.
So, Annabelle and Jericho are both afeared. Let's see.
I actually got an 8 because I forgot about the -1.
That's fine, as long as you get above a 4. So,
Okay.
Jericho gets a 1, which is an adrenaline surge. So fight takes over, and you act as if you have the Joker this action. So that's actually a good thing.
All right.
Annabelle is panicked The character must immediately move her full pace plus running die away from danger and is shaken. So roll your running die for me. It should be a d6.
2.
Okay, so you move 8 squares away from this creature, which has turned around to face you, and it is a horribly burned body of a man that has been reanimated into Walking Dead. So what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna try to
I'm gonna be shaken over.
Yeah, you're shaken up. Are you going to try to enter combat, or are you what are you doing?
We need to put this creature back to rest.
Well, just an idea. What if we follow where it's going? Because obviously it's trying to go somewhere.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what exactly. I mean, I'm with you, Brother Wolf. What's in the ground needs to stay in the ground, and should this creature try to hurt anyone. But
Oh, obviously, then we put it down like a dog, but...
right.
I'm fine with following it, but if it goes anywhere near a civilian or anything like that, we need to take care of it as soon as possible. I don't want to risk this taking another life.
All right, so it sounds like we're gonna follow it.
Okay. So after a moment, it realizes that you guys are not doing anything to it, so it turns back around and continues its shuffle up Daly Street. And it takes quite a while for it to get where it's going because it is moving so slowly. But eventually, you follow this poor creature to the burned out remains of the Daly Mansion. It goes through the gate into the remains of the mansion and shuffles around there while you watch.
I think we found Mr. Daly.
Or at least somebody really interested in what he has.
Perhaps he's looking for something. Brother Wolf, perhaps maybe you can, I don't know, help this poor soul find peace.
I could do that, but that might require one of you to take care of it first.
What is it doing as it's going to its house? Because I'll open the door for it if it can't do that. I kind of I really want to see it, what it does. I kind of have a little bit of a morbid curiosity. Not the first time she's seen something like this. I should point that out. She doesn't seem freaked at all.
You watch as he kind of just shuffles from burned out room to burned out room. Doesn't appear to be looking for anything. It's just kind of wandering throughout the first floor of the mansion.
Interesting. Yeah, Eliza's gonna take notes in her notebook.
I'm just gonna stay over here.
I think it may need a prayer of a bit more impact. If one of you would be so kind.
We could put it on a leash. It looks like a dog. Little zombie dog.
No, I think more just removing the head or something similar. But as you can see, I don't quite have the tools here to do that myself. But would one of you be so kind to please put it out so I can do the prayers necessary? I don't think we're going to learn anything new from it.
Everything I got is real loud, so I'm real good over here.
I mean, is there anything around that I could possibly use to behead it, I guess?
Unless you have a knife or something.
I do have a Bowie knife. I have a Bowie knife.
Eliza was gonna hand him one of her knives, just in case.
That would do the trick if that were the case, but it's up to you.
All right, I'll try to engage with it.
Is there like a role to ask the DM what the proper thing to do is? Like a cult? Or
Roll a cult.
I'm gonna roll an occult. Like, I don't want to kill it, but like if the DM is saying like, oh no, kill it, it's the best thing to do. Out of 5.
5. You know from experience with The Walking Dead that they do take extra damage to shots to the head. So you could shoot it. You don't necessarily have to remove the head by cutting. Other than that, there's nothing that like Brother Wolf hasn't demonstrated any ability to like be able to use his blessed powers to like consecrate anything. So you don't know necessarily that he would be able to do that. So as far as you know, your best bet is shooting it.
It's so loud.
Well, maybe can I try to find a pillow to kind of like soften the noise?
I don't think you're gonna find any pillows in this burnt down building.
Well, I don't know. I'm just looking. I want to keep it as a pet, but apparently that's not okay.
No, that's not okay.
Well, look, it's fine.
We can try to cut its head off, or I can shoot it in the head with my sawed-off double barrel.
I would just shoot it in the head. There's no sheriff that's going to get us in trouble. I don't think it really freaking matters.
I wonder if the bell will ring.
Well, I mean, it's already dead, but that would be a good... I want to see what that bell does.
It'd be kind of odd if it rang at this hour.
This just goes to show nothing good happens after midnight.
Yes.
Do you want the honors, Jericho?
Yeah, I will take aim and I will put a bullet in its head.
Okay, roll shooting.
Okay, I could do that. Or I thought I could do that. Let me let me spin a Benny on that apparently. Oh, much better. Okay, ace. So 13.
13. All right, so that'll do an extra d6 damage.
Okay. All right, and then let me add the extra d6. Ooh, and that ace. Okay, 15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than enough. You do take aim and you shoot this thing dead in the center of the head, and it just goes down quietly with a low moan, and it is dead because you got a raise on its toughness. So,
all right.
Brother Wolf will immediately head over to the body afterwards and just kneel down and start saying a prayer for its soul to find peace, hopefully.
All right, and it's undead and it's dead again, so there's no indication to you, but you feel better for having said this prayer over this body of this person who was probably wrongfully killed the first time and who was released to be walking around in torment before being put down a second time. So you feel better for having said this prayer. And you guys can all have a Banny.
Hooray!
Is there anything on the body? Outside of the funeral clothes?
No, it's a very fine set of funeral clothes. Like, you get the indication that this person had money, but you don't find anything of value to you on them.
Okay, so nothing indicating whether or not this was actually John Daly or not.
I'm trying to think of what that would be. A sign that says, "My name is John Daly." No. Roll notice.
Okay.
He doesn't have a name tag that says, "Hello, my name is."
Yeah, he's not wearing a wallet. He doesn't have like a wallet or something. Yeah, that's gonna be a 4.
4. You do see that this creature was wearing a ring, a signet ring, and it does have a D on it. So your best guess is that this was John Daly.
Well, I guess we know what happened to Mr. Daly.
Maybe we could check out that graveyard, because from what I know, the dead don't just come back to life like that.
What I know, this town isn't normal. And I honestly really just want to sleep.
As do I.
Walking. Can we go back to the hotel now? In the whatever it's
It's a hotel.
hotel. Sweet. I was right.
Sure. If that's what you want to do, easy enough for you to do. It doesn't appear that anyone came running at the sound of gunshots in the middle of the night. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you.
Did the bell ring at all?
The bell did not ring.
Okay.
Now we need somebody to die from natural causes to see if it rings at that too. No. Eventually we'll study this and figure out the bell. Are you guys cool going back to the hotel?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do for now.
All right. So you guys head back. Are you still keeping watch, or are you just all going to sleep?
Guess I can take.
So throughout the night, you guys, I assume, trade off watches so that everybody gets a turn. But through the night, you don't see or hear anything else out of the ordinary.
Hooray, we rested. So I have a question.
Yes.
If I didn't spend that extra Benny I got, do I lose it?
No, you keep bennies per session.
Okay.
So it's not like per day.
Yeah, never mind.
So you will lose it at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. But yeah, so you wake up. Carl Testaverde, because that is his name, and I'm not going to keep calling him the hotel owner, is at the front desk, and he doesn't look happy, but he does look a little better today than he looked yesterday.
Brother Wolf will just greet him with a nod and a morning.
Good morning, brother.
Hope you got some sleep last night.
I hope you did as well.
No, we sure didn't. But we will... I assume he doesn't have breakfast in bed or anything like that, so...
Nope.
Okay.
It's not that fancy of a hotel, no.
How rude.
So we're just gonna head straight over to the mines.
You guys want to stop at the general store to pick up anything? You think should be able to just go?
I don't need anything, but I don't know about you guys.
I don't need any supplies.
I think I'm good to go.
Then off to the mines to possibly die.
Oh, and Brother Wolf is bringing the Bible from the nightstand with him, so he's making a mental note to replace that eventually.
Okay. All right. So you guys head in a northwesterly direction, as the mayor had indicated to you yesterday. As you are outside of town, in the hills, you see, well, first you hear a gunshot out toward the west a little further, and you'd have to crest the hill you're on in order to be able to possibly see what made that sound.
Y'all hear that?
I believe that was a gunshot.
I think we should maybe get ready for a firefight.
I pull out my gun just in case as we start to walk up the hill to see what was shooting what.
Yeah, Jericho will definitely unsling his Winchester and have that at the ready.
All right. So as you crest this hill, you see a woman with a gun out, and she is currently being physically attacked by some kind of creature. It is red and clay-like, and it has deep red veins that almost seem to pulsate running through it. It is humanoid-ish. It's man-shaped, but it doesn't have any features on its face, and it appears to be made of almost mud, and it is currently attacking this woman with a gun.
Initiative.
Basically, assuming you guys want to help. You could just be like, all right, well, I guess we're turning around.
No, we'll help.
No, yeah, well, what kind of adventuring posse are we if we don't meddle in affairs that don't concern us?
Yeah, we're not may not be like the goodest of good, but we're pretty good.
We're okay good.
We're okay good.
Jericho gets a jack. Annabelle has a 9. Eliza gets the Joker. So you guys all get a Benny.
I have so many pennies.
Brother Wolf gets a king.
There a max on pennies you can have?
I don't think so. I mean,
7.
usually you tend to spend them, so it's never really been a problem. It's a good problem to have. So, Eliza can choose to go whenever she would like. You are about 10 squares away from this fight that is happening, that this woman currently seems to be losing, and they do not appear to have noticed you.
Does she look like she has any type of religious symbolism on her?
Roll notice.
4.
She's wearing a standard cowboy hat. She's wearing pants and a neckerchief around her neck. She does not appear to be dressed in any sort of religious garb that you can see.
Well, I'm just gonna use my cards and take a second and hope and pray that I will not get in trouble, and I'm gonna cast Bolt.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your spellcasting.
That is a 5.
5 will do it, so go ahead and roll damage.
All right. 2d6. That's an ace. That's an ace.
Okay.
All right, so 12 plus 4 is 16. 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. Okay, so you send these cards bolting at this mud creature. It goes straight into what its head would be, and it explodes with mud onto this woman, but also onto the ground and onto itself. And this creature falls formless into blood red mud on the ground. And this woman, who was being partially held up, partially attacked by this creature, falls to the ground and turns and looks at you all and says, "What in the holy hell was that?"
Just some weird science. I try to do something weird at times. I dabble in science.
Well, whatever it was, you saved my goddamn life.
Are you hurt?
I sure am, and she has a very large wound across her stomach. Looks pretty bad.
Yeah, Brother Wolf will immediately head over and use healing on her.
Okay. So, roll faith.
Okay.
I will ask her, what in the hell was that? Where did it come from?
I don't really know. I had a horse. I was making my way through these hills, and this thing came out of nowhere, seemingly, and attacked me.
Got a 10 on the face.
Oh, you got a 10? All right, well, you healed both of the wounds that she had.
Cool.
So you heal her up, and you watch as the wound closes with this holy light, and she looks down and she goes, "Son of a bitch!" Or, "Sorry there, Padre. Sorry for cursing, but didn't expect you to..."
It's okay. I perfectly understand you're being attacked by what looks like the earth itself. As long as you're okay, then that's all we can hope for.
Don't worry, we've been cursing in front of him for the last week, so you're fine.
And she stands up and she says, "Well, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for your help. My name is..." And she gives you guys a discerning look before she gives her name. You're not all from around here, are you?
Nope.
No.
You're not more than in with that Marshal Bryce, are you?
Oh, no.
Well, if the Marshal is giving you any trouble, he won't be giving you trouble anymore.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, he's up on Boot Hill now.
Yeah, we found him all dead, so it's weird.
Marshal Bryce is dead?
Well, he was a part of a gang.
No, you mistake me. I am happy about this occurrence. All right, well, shit then. My name is Shelley Pearl Daly.
Daly? As in relation to John Daly?
As in he were my father, but I never got to meet him because by the time I got to town, fucking Bryce and his goons had already lit up the mansion and killed my father. I am sure of it.
Well, then you'll be happy to know, as I've already told you, the Marshal and his deputies have been dealt with. Unfortunately, we did upon the Daly Mansion, and, well, as you said, it was in ruins. If it's any comfort to you at all, know that Brother Wolf here had performed last rites on John Daly. Hopefully his soul's at peace now.
Yeah, and Brother Wolf will whisper to the rest of the group, or at least the ones that are near him, to it's probably best not to mention that he came back from the dead, and just leave that little part out.
And and Jericho would just kind of nod to Brother Wolf about that. Turn back to Miss Daly. Miss Daly, not that I don't trust who you're saying who you are, but being that your father, well, he owned a lot of the property in town. Do you have anything to back your claim as being his daughter?
Well, shoot. Only my word, but...
What about anything your father might have had that would identify him as who he was? Maybe just something so that we know.
Well, I have a ring that my mom gave me. She said it came from him.
Do you have the ring on you now?
Yeah, and she reaches into a pocket, reaches into another pocket, reaches into a third pocket trying to find it. And she finally finds it and she pulls it out. And it looks just like the same signet ring that you saw on the zombie daily the night before.
I'm going to whisper to Annabelle, I know we should have kept him as a pet. Could have gotten a reward.
She just like holds up her flask and like does like a I'll drink to that kind of movement and then takes a sip.
Brother Wolf visibly face palms.
I said it quietly.
Yeah, we're over here having a private conversation. Brother Wolf can't have ears everywhere.
He senses something afoot.
Miss Daly, if you like, we can escort you back into town. Like I said, the Marshal and his deputies have been dealt with, and being that you are the last sole heir to the Daly estate, I think it's only fair that all the properties be returned to you.
Well, to be quite honest, I don't have much to do with that town except for the women who came from it. The daughters and wives of Coffin Rock have kind of formed a band around me. We're staying out in the hills for right now because that town is, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's kind of cursed.
Yeah, we had a hunch over the last couple of days.
It does definitely seem like something is going on there of otherworldly nature.
We've seen our fair share of weirdness.
So if you are able to help me alleviate some of that weirdness that's going on there, maybe I could think about going back, bringing my gang of women back to town. But until it's safe, I feel like we're safer out here in the hills.
Oh, of course, I get that.
First, do you know anything about that church? Because they seem awfully weird.
Reverend Cheval is kind of strange, but I don't rightly know anything more about them. Not really the church-going type. Sorry, brother. Thank you again.
We can't all be saved.
Look, all I'm saying is that they said we shouldn't go near the mines.
Well, all I know about the mines is that I've seen more of these things. And she points at the mud on the ground around there. This one snuck up on me. Otherwise, I would have been able to get away. Where is my dang horse? And she looks around. But, they've been around the hills and they've been congregating, especially near the mine. I don't know what's going on with them, where they're coming from, what they're doing, except, harassing folk like me and like miners, I guess.
But we're hoping to figure that out because that's where we're headed.
Well, good luck to you there.
Well, speaking of the mine, Miss Daly, do you happen to know what's happening there?
Well, I expected that it was just mining, but I would guess with these things around, probably not. But I don't rightly know anything else about it.
Well, we are on our way to the mines. So, does anybody that you're hanging out with know anything about the mines?
I mean, some of my gang are miners' wives and daughters, but I don't think that they've ever set foot in the cooked earth mine themselves.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we might as well keep going then.
Sounds like a plan.
Jericho, Eliza, you good with that?
Go.
Let's go.
Well, it's lovely meeting you.
Likewise, thank you for the rescue. And I expect I'll see you in town at some point.
Hopefully.
More than likely, if we come back.
And we walk to the mines.
Alright. The entrance to the cooked earth mine looks like a tomahawk wound in the earth. An eerie red glow emanates from its depths. Everybody roll notice.
10.
10?
Mm-hmm. I aced twice on.
Nice.
I got a 5.
No.
5. And Brother Wolf?
I got a 5 as well.
Okay. So everybody hears whispers on the wind, but most of you are unable to make out any words. Annabelle hears voices coming from the mine, and it sounds like, "Help! Please help us! Help!"
Does it sound like my friend that I'm here to save?
It doesn't sound like anybody familiar to you.
Did y'all hear that? I heard somebody calling for help. It could be a trap, but can I notice if it's a trap?
Are you gonna go in?
I was just gonna see if the intent of the ghostly whales were like truthful. I don't know.
Do they sound trappy?
Does the voice sound like a trap?
You have no idea.
Damn it. Somebody could be hurt or trying to trap us. I don't know which one. I pull out my my rifle. No. Yes.
Well, if somebody needs help, I think we need to go. Now. And by we, I mean you three. I'll stay back here.
Eliza narrows her eyes.
What? I have no weapons.
She enters the cave.
I will definitely Is there any? I would have brought in one, but if there is any additional lanterns or anything just hanging on the outside of this miner's cave before entering in, or in the miner's gear, I think it'd be appropriate to take an additional one or so.
There is a lantern hanging up outside the mine, but there is a very, very strange red glow coming from within the mine. So it doesn't seem like it's particularly dark in there.
Okay. All right. Well, I will pull one of my Colts and start to approach, being cautious.
All right. So inside the entrance is an elevator that's big enough for probably about 10 people. There's a crank in the center of the elevator to raise and lower it. The air is warm and moist, coming from the shaft, almost as if the mine is breathing.
Does it look sturdy?
The elevator?
Yeah.
Roll notice.
It's a 14.
Okay, well, you not only notice that it looks pretty sturdy, you also notice that it has been trapped by someone.
Oh, the moment I notice it's trapped, I'm just going to hold out my arm from behind so nobody else can see it, and then I'm going to yell out, there's something odd about that. Don't enter that elevator.
There are release wires from the top of the elevator frame to the support beams of the platforms, and above it is a platform stacked high with huge rocks.
It looks like there's somebody rigged up some rocks to fall on whoever enters that elevator. There's wires over there. So,
well, it seems kind of pointless.
Looks like somebody doesn't want anybody else going deeper into this mine.
I'm just gonna assume it's probably the church in town. I don't know about you guys, but
Either them or them with the freaking Marshal.
very true.
Is there any other way to get down?
It doesn't look like it, but you can attempt to disable the trap if you would like.
What kind of roll is that?
I'll just have you do agility.
I'm good at that. Here, let me give me a boost and I gotta spend if I spend a penny, do I have to keep the new roll or is it whatever is better?
Take the better one.
Well, I did worse. So let's take another. That's better. 11.
11? Okay. Yeah, you unhook the wires from these nails, and you are positive that you have disarmed this trap.
There we go. We can use the elevator now. I disconnected the wires that were going to be tripping out that rocks from falling.
Are you sure? Because this will hurt an awful lot if they fall on me.
Yeah, I had a kid that used to do that shit all the time. It wasn't as big, obviously, but I learned how to get around it.
The kids you know set up rocks to crush people?
No, they set up little trick prank things. It's the same concept, it's just bigger and more painful.
Okay. Brother Wolf will very reluctantly and cautiously head into the elevator, just kind of staring up the entire time, worried that they're going to fall down.
Okay.
You can see yourself die. Haha, I lied. No, I'm kidding.
All right, so are you going to turn the crank and go on down?
Once everybody gets in, I guess.
Sounds like we're going down.
Yep.
All right. So you turn the crank slowly but surely. You go down. It is approximately 100 feet deep, so it takes a bit to get all the way down. And the further down you go, the louder these cries for help become. And it just seems to be coming from every direction from the mine itself. So when you make it all the way to the bottom, the shaft is lit with a bright red glow, and you don't need those lanterns that you were worried about, Jericho, because it is more than bright enough to see by. And this is coming from these weird crimson veins that are running through the walls. So this is definitely not copper.
Guys, this is definitely not copper.
What is it then?
Okay. Brother Wolf poke one of the veins and see if anything happens.
You die.
Make a spirit roll?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Thankfully, I have 4 bennies left, so.
That's good.
Oh, that's so close. 11?
11?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely more than a 4.
Okay.
Because 4 is just the basic target you need to beat. So, as you touch this crimson vein, you feel the spirit within you cry out for a moment at the corruption that you feel. You can tell, because you are a man of faith, that this is something evil and something cruel has been done to the earth here. And you pull back your hand and nothing happens to you, but you don't feel good about that.
Yeah, Brother Wolf is probably immediately just going to back away, fall on his ass, and just grab his cross tightly and just say that these mines are cursed by some evil that is powerful. Something happened here, and I don't know what it is, but it is strong.
Can I try to make a check to see what this mine could possibly have? Or if I've ever heard of something like this?
Yeah, I was thinking like a cult or something.
Yeah, do you guys have a cult?
Yeah.
I do not.
Well, what skills do you have?
I have athletics, common knowledge, notice, persuasion, stealth, spell casting, gambling, writing, shooting.
No, it would really be a cult, and it wouldn't be any of the other things you have.
All right.
So
Can I
you
try
can-
unskilled?
Yeah, you can try it unskilled, and Annabelle, you can try it.
I only got a 3.
3. And what'd you get, Annabelle?
I got a 5.
You got a 5. Okay. You can't really tell what this is, but the thing it reminds you of is blood.
It reminds me of blood, guys, and that's kind of weird.
And as you get closer to the walls, you start to see a face in the wall turn and look at you and moan and cry out, "Help! Please help!"
That's creepy. How do we help?
And then, as you say this, ghosts of men start to appear from the walls. They look like incorporeal figures wearing mining gear, and they are all crying out for help.
Brother Wolf will just grab his cross and try and speak to these ghosts and say, "We're here to help. Just guide us to where you need us to go."
One of the ghosts drifts forward and says, "In life, my name was William Wood. We're trapped here."
Do I know that name at all?
You haven't heard it?
Okay.
We're trapped here by the preacher who has done some kind of evil ritual to harness the power of the earth itself. He has bound a spirit deeper in the mine and is torturing it, forcing it to his own purposes. I don't know what they are, but we cannot pass the Blood Rock.
Neither can we.
You can pass the Blood Rock. If we were if you were to act as a vessel for us, we would be able to come with you and help fight these blood men.
Can I get a light check?
Yeah.
Or a notice check?
Sure. Go ahead.
Like, I'm sorry. Excuse me? You want to do what? I only got a 3.
Three?
I'm going to use a Benny.
Okay.
I aced 1 second.
What kind of roll is that?
I aced again.
Notice.
Okay.
I got a 15.
I got a 5.
I got a 3.
I mean, they're ghosts, so they're hard to read. But, Eliza, what was your total?
15.
Okay.
Jeez.
Eliza feels very confident that these ghosts are simply tormented and haunted and mean no harm to the posse.
All right, well, let's put an end to this once and for all.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
Will you allow us passage?
Let him hitch a ride on us.
Or
Yeah.
Annabelle takes up like 3 or 4 really big gulps of whiskey before she says sure.
First time for everything?
Okay, so you guys all say yes?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it isn't the first time you had somebody inside of you.
I'm sorry.
I hear how you talk to those people back at the bar.
Lady never tells her secrets.
The ghostly figures slowly merge with your bodies. It almost feels like being immersed in cold water. A chill washes over you, and then the memories come. The chill turns warm, and then scalding hot as you are forced down into red bubbling mud. Your screams are drowned out as the mud pours down your throat. Your last feeling is of the searing pain washing over every inch of your body. Slowly coming out of the haze, you realize you aren't actually dead. You see the ghosts of the miners in the eyes of your companions, and once again you feel the chill of death. A voice speaks from the one William Wood merged with, so Annabelle. Let's get this over with. So everybody make a spirit roll.
I fit it.
I'm gonna use a Benny.
Wolf got a 10.
How many Bennies are we limited to?
To using, or?
Yes.
You can use as many as you want.
Okay, I'm gonna use another Benny.
Okay.
I got a 9.
9.
Alright, I got a 5.
Okay.
Okay, I had to spend a couple of bennies, but I got a 5. So.
Okay. All right, so none of you take fatigue. That's what would have happened if you had failed. But these ghosts are riding alongside you, and you make your way further into the mine.
Creepy.
So as you're walking, you hear voices coming from within your own bodies speaking, but it's not you who is speaking. It is the ghosts inside you. And so they are talking about how Reverend Cheval is to blame. He and his cultists, and they were turned into these creatures by these cultists. And every once in a while you feel that heat sear through you that you had the memory of when the ghosts merged with you. And then it passes. And you're left just with the cold of the ghost.
Do we still have like control over our bodies and stuff?
Oh, yeah, you absolutely do.
Then the second time that happens, I'm going to pull out my sawed-off double barrel rifle or shotgun or whatever it is, my special weapon.
Okay.
Because I'm going to make sure that preacher feels this really bad, just as much as these guys did, especially since I just had to live through it twice.
Okay. Right. So you also start to hear screams the deeper you go into the mine. They're not words, they're just screams of agony and pain. But eventually, the tunnel opens up into a large cavern. Floating in the air, surrounded by a glowing field of blue energy, is a large creature made of rough red stone. His thick, rocky arms are outspread. Large, gaping wounds pour magma like blood into a pit below. This creature is screaming out, and you hear William Wood from within you, Annabelle, say, "That's the spirit that they're keeping locked away."
Where's the preacher?
Roll notice.
See, shit, I got 2-1.
Jericho got a 5.
Okay. Jericho notices Reverend Chevelle on a ledge about 15 feet or so above the pit. He doesn't seem to have noticed you 4 yet.
Alright.
And between you and the pit are 2 of those blood men pushing a human man into the pit. He is the one who was screaming in agony that you heard further down the tunnel.
Okay. So we have 2 of these magma men pushing an actual live person towards a pit, and then the Reverend, is that right?
Yes, and then around the pit there are 3 more of these blood men, none of whom seem to have noticed that you are there.
Okay. Could I aim at the Reverend?
You can certainly try.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and we can go in initiative if we want, but that's what Jericho would do, is I would take my Winchester and I would try to aim at this Reverend.
Okay. Everybody give me stealth so we can see if they did not notice your approach.
Jericho got a 5.
5.
4.
So, I got a 2.
Are you going to try to use a Benny on that?
So, I have a question. I re-rolled and got 2 1s.
Oh, so you crit failed.
I don't know if I still keep that highest number because I got a 2, but just don't get to re-roll anymore, or what?
No, if you re-roll and you get a crit fail, it's a crit fail, unfortunately.
Okay, well then I crit failed.
Yeah, Wolf got a 5.
Okay. So, what happens is, Annabelle is startled as William Wood suddenly comes streaming out of her body to go try to grab one of these blood men, and you stumble forward and you drop your gun and it clatters to the rock and it makes the sound.
Anything but my gun.
And that is enough to gain the attention of all of the blood men and Reverend Chevelle.
Sorry.
Who is going to scream, "Slay the intruders!" And then he's going to try to do something, but I think it's only fair to go into initiative to see who goes first. So, Jericho gets a 9, Annabelle gets a 4, Eliza gets a 9, Wolf gets a king. Oh, they had real high initiative, huh? Alright. So actually, Reverend Chevelle is going first. He had an ace. So he is going to swan dive into this blood pit from the ledge above and disappear. And it's not like he gets stuck and like he's drowning in mud or anything. He goes through the pit and like blinks out of existence somewhere else.
I like it.
But next up is Brother Wolf.
Alright, Brother Wolf is immediately going to see Jericho over there with his Winchester and cast Smite on it.
So go ahead and roll Faith.
That's going to be a Benny. 11.
Okay. So that is a...
Says
it's
plus
more.
for raise.
Yeah.
Plus 2 or plus 4 with raise.
Okay, so that is a plus 4 with a raise, so you do an extra 4 damage with your gun, Jericho.
All right. I'll take it.
And that's for 5 rounds, I believe.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to do, Brother Wolf?
Probably try and get some cover somewhere because he definitely cannot do anything else to these guys, so he'll just back away and let everybody else with the guns do the talking.
Okay. All right. So, you go ahead and hide. You get some cover. Next up are the Bloodmen. They have a whole lot of rules, so hold on one second. Okay. So what happens is the ghosts come out of you guys and go into 4 of these blood men. And you can see these creatures. If they had mouths, they would be like open and screaming, but they don't have mouths, so they are not. But you can see them struggling against the ghosts that are within them. And only one of the blood men is not taken over by a ghost because there are only 4 of you and 5 blood men. So they are partially held back by these ghosts that are within them. Only one of them is close enough to get to any of you, and is going to take a swipe at Annabelle. Right? That's what they do, right? Yes, they do. Okay. It rolled a 5. What is your parry?
666.
So, it swipes out at you and does not manage to hit you.
Fantastic.
And the others have advanced, but the next closest one is still 10 feet away from any of you. Next up is Eliza.
So wait, did they already throw the guy in the pit?
They let go of him. So he is like on the ground and like screaming still, but he's no longer like being forced into the pit.
Okay. And then the other two, how are they positioned? Like how close are they to each other?
There are 3 that are in a nice like burst cone, if that's what you're looking for.
That's what I'm looking for. I just don't want to hit the other guy.
No, you wouldn't hit the human man.
All right. Then, yeah, I'm going to try and cast, what is the name of the spell? A burst.
All right, go ahead and roll your spell casting.
I'm going to use a Benny.
Okay.
All right, so I got a 6.
All right. So go ahead and roll damage.
I aced.
Yay.
So I got 12.
12? Okay. That is... Oh, that is 1 more than what you needed. So that is more than a raise on their toughness. So they go up in a burst of cards, playing cards that consume them. The mud falls to the ground like the one outside that was attacking Shelly did, and the ghostly spirits that were within them rise up to the ceiling and dissipate and say thank you. So you killed 3 of them in 1 go.
Awesome.
So there are only 2 blood men left, one of whom did not have a ghost inside of it. So next up is Jericho.
All right. I guess I'll take a shot at this blood man who wasn't attacked by a ghost.
Okay. Go ahead and roll shooting.
All right. And you can't spend a Benny if you roll double 1s, right?
Nope.
It was bound to happen. All right, so I have a crit fail.
So your gun kind of jams on you, and you're not going to be able to use that one until you spend time to unjam it.
I have trouble magnet.
Oh yeah, you are supposed to. Oh wait, yeah,
you
have.
And I have Grim Servant of Death.
Okay, so what that actually means is instead of jamming, you shoot your friend Annabelle. So go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, Jesus.
So let me see here. It says anytime his attack roll is a crit failure, he hits the nearest ally with a raise.
Oh, with +4.
With a +4 to damage.
No, with an extra d6 to damage.
Well, no, because I have the +4 with the smite.
Oh no.
All right,
Oh,
so
no.
I gotta roll damage,
I'm gonna die.
and then I gotta add a d6 to that.
You just gotta soak. Annabelle, you just gotta soak.
All right,
Be a sponge.
be a sponge. No, it's bad 7. Okay, so with all the bonuses and everything, 15.
Okay, what is your toughness?
So my toughness is 6. I have an armored corset for 2. So that's 8.
Okay. So
Introduction to it. That's armored towards it.
Yeah. So this is 6, but you reduce 2 of the damage, so it's 13 instead of 15. So you are shaken, and then you have
How do I
just 1 wound. So you can spend a penny and roll vigor.
I got a 5.
So you soak up the wound. If you get rid of all of your wounds, I believe you are not shaken either. Okay. So could have been bad, could have been real bad, but because of that Benny that you had, that extra Benny you had, it turned out okay.
Yay.
Just okay. Not great.
So no wounds?
No, so no wounds.
Yes.
And I do think that after that shot went off, your gun did jam. So your gun is also jammed now. Would have been helpful for you if it had jammed first before shooting, but
It just had to be
Yeah, that
honest.
sounds fair.
Damn me.
All right.
And then last up is Annabelle.
Fantastic. I just got shot in the back, and I'm going to pick up my sawed-off gun that fell.
Yes.
And there's somebody within 5 feet of me. The guy who swiped at me.
There was, but Eliza took care of that one with her cards. So now the closest one is 20 feet away from you.
And I will walk straight up to him so that I'm within 5 feet of him.
Okay.
And hold up my gun and shoot him in melee. Which I
Okay.
can do. And I get +3 to this instead of +1.
Right, because you are
Using my fancy gun that I haven't
you're
gotten
using your
used.
trademark weapon, yeah.
Just in case I die next round because somebody else shoots me. I get to shoot it at least one time. I'm gonna use a Benny. That's a 5. So 8.
Okay, that's a race, so you do an extra d6 damage.
Sweet. So that's 46 damage.
That's certainly a lot of damage.
7 plus 6. 13 damage.
Okay.
I'm assuming the +3 is that's not on damage, correct?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That is more than enough. That will you level your shotgun at this blood man and just put it full of holes, basically. And the ghost that was within it was William Wood, and he's at eye level with you, and he says thank you before he dissipates. And it is the next round of initiative with
It's my gun and go, thank you, gun. Good.
with 1 blood man left. So Jericho has a 7, Annabelle has a 7, Eliza has a 5, Brother Wolf has a 10, and the blood men have a 3. The blood man, the remaining one, has a 3. So Brother Wolf is first.
Did he see anybody get injured? I don't think anybody did.
I got shot, but I wasn't hurt.
Yeah, her vigor was enough to withstand that wound.
I'm more like, ow, God, that stings. Jeez.
I guess he's going to try and talk out to the spirits or the ghosts that were in us before and see if they know where the Reverend went. If maybe they can provide some sort of direction.
You're gonna try to talk to the bound spirit?
I think he meant the 4 miners.
Oh, the ghost.
Yeah, the miners that were inside of us earlier.
Oh, they kind of left after the blood men that they entered were freed. They like kind of dissipated, and you get the impression that they were freed from their torment. So they are no longer present.
Is there any way to get up to the ledge easily from where the Reverend was?
You'd have to climb up there, but you could do it.
Okay, so not easily. So
No,
I
not
will
easily.
So I will just wait back and I'll pray for the ghost to rest peacefully.
Okay.
That'll be it.
All right. Next up is Jericho.
All right, the last blood man. So with my Winchester jam, I'm just gonna grab one of my Colts and try to shoot this one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll shooting. Did you get
That
another
one,
good
bud.
fail?
Okay, yeah.
How is this possible?
Sometimes the dice gods just want something to happen.
Sometimes the dice gods want you to kill your friend.
Apparently. All
You
right.
didn't sacrifice the right goat, man.
Maybe you need to fight more. Here's a Bible.
Maybe. Brother Wolf, that's your department. All right. All right, well,
So
at least
go ahead and roll
this
damage on Annabelle.
at least this gun does not have a +4 on it.
That's true. That's true, because the
Alright.
enchantment was on the weapon itself.
Yes. But I do still need to add a d6 to it because it does act as a raise.
Yep.
Okay, so total would be 10.
Oh, that's not too bad. What is your toughness? I forget.
It's 6, so it would be, but it's -2. So
Oh,
it's an
okay, yeah.
8.
So you're shaken.
No. I don't want it, so bigger.
Oh, I
Benny.
mean, you can spend a Benny to not be shaken if you'd like.
I don't want to be shaken. I'm gonna spend a
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
I want to
And I think for shaken, you just spend it and you are no longer shaken.
Uh-huh.
So you are no longer shaken because you have spent your Benny.
Fantastic.
Okay. So next up is Annabelle.
Can you stop shooting me? Like, the guy's right there. He's right there. How far away is the last red man?
4 squares.
Okay. So I can save this one for the guy. I'm gonna pull out my Colt. I guess no. So the numbers have to be. Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my Winchester and then shoot the guy. Because the sawed-off double barrel has one more round in it before I have to reload it. So I'll pull out my Winchester. That's probably a miss. That's a 4.
No, with your a 4 is all you need with shooting.
Then
So go ahead and roll damage.
fantastic. That's 15.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah, that's more than enough. You shoot this blood man in what would be its head, and the mud just falls to the floor of this cave, and it is dead.
Wonderful. Now where did the preacher go, guys?
As you say that, the spirit that is trapped and bound in this blue energy says, "Thank you."
Wait, don't go.
No, it's trapped there. It's not like a ghost. It is a corporeal spirit made of earth that has like magma pouring out of it like blood, and it is still bound. This spirit. He says, "My name is Tachini. I am a spirit of the earth. You have negated much of the power the preacher has over me, but he is still trying to lay his trap. I can open the portal for you to follow this preacher, but I am weak." And the blood pit you see is now flickering with images. So you can see a view of what looks like a counter with general store goods on it. You see the inside of a theater. You see a doctor's operating room. You see 6 feet under the bar. You see the inside of the church looking down from the altar. And these visions are just kaleidoscoping past very quickly.
I'm done with this asshole. Open the portal, please.
It is open.
Brother, that's new for you.
We're taking care of him before any more innocent people have to die.
So we just jump in?
Yep. Let's go.
Alley-oop, I guess.
All right. Hold on. I need to determine where you guys end up. So who's jumping in first?
Would we have been able to see when jumped in? Or was it too, like, we wouldn't have had a reason to notice?
You can try. So give me agility.
That's a 6.
6. I'll roll a smaller die so that you have fewer options, and one of them will be the church. So we'll do that. How about everybody roll agility to see how well you are paying attention to the pattern of these images kaleidoscoping past. In the church image, you can see Reverend Cheval with a book open, beginning to speak out some sort of ritual.
I got a
9. Okay.
I've been acing like crazy tonight. I don't know what's happening.
It's good.
Yeah, Wolf got a 4.
4.
I got a 4 as well.
Okay. So everybody who succeeded, I'm going to roll a d6, and that'll determine where you end up. With that 9, I'm going to roll a d4, and that'll determine where you end up.
Oh God, I'm stuck alone with this guy. Ah!
Yeah.
I'm alone with him, aren't I?
Eliza ends up coming out of the altar of the church. Ooh. So does Annabelle.
Thank God.
Jericho ends up at the hotel, so across the street from the church.
Not too bad.
And then Brother Wolf ends up somewhere that you haven't been before. It is a very dusty room covered in bookshelves with old tomes all over it. Looks like a library. You have not been there before.
Lovely.
Okay. So, this is gonna be interesting.
Girl squad, we got this.
Okay.
Thank God I still have 2 bennies.
Me too.
What is happening is the Reverend is currently reading from a book in front of the altar in the church. And all of the cultists are around. They carry clubs. They see you emerge from the altar. And sorry, I'm counting to make sure I have the right number of cultists.
You can have less cultists, it's okay.
They see you come out and they cry out because you're going to ruin everything. So Cheval's words are unnaturally loud, and he's reading in a language totally alien to your ears. So roll fear. So roll spirit.
Okey-dokey.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Barely.
You succeed.
Also got a 4.
You also got a 4? Okay. So this is a scary sight, but you are not frightened. Okay. So what is happening here is this guy is summoning something, and he has a certain number of turns to summon something, and you have to stop him.
Oh, we're in a dramatic task. Oh no.
Well, you're kind of in a dramatic task. It doesn't. This is from the old rules, so it doesn't quite do a dramatic task.
Okay,
but,
okay, cool.
So you're gonna just be in normal combat, but your 2 friends are going to be too far away to be able to help you until after this has occurred. Just because you're Jericho and Brother Wolf are just too far away at the moment. Unless you guys are going to try to hide and wait for your posse to get all together before you take on what's happening.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, in the meantime, Reverend Cheval is reading from his summoning book.
I'm a little worried about letting it happen. Just a little.
Okay. So, Annabelle gets a 2, Eliza gets a jack, the Reverend gets a 6, and all of the cultists get a 10. So, Eliza's going first, and you're about 8 squares away from the Reverend. You're behind him.
That's perfectly fine. I'm going to shoot his book.
Okay. It'll be...
And I'm using magic instead of... Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
I'm using bolt.
It'll be at a -2 just because you're aiming at something that is smaller. But by all means.
I got an ace on my d8.
Okay.
I got another ace on my d8. And a 2. So that's 18.
18, okay. -2, which is 16, which is still an incredible amount of raises.
Okay, so that means I get 36 damage.
Yes. It's damage against the book, which I guess roll. And let's see how much damage you do to this book, but...
I have a total of 11.
11? That's more than enough. Your cards go arcing through this church and hit this book dead center, tearing up the pages that he was reading, and Reverend Cheval turns with a just ghastly look on his face as he screams a primal wordless scream at your interference, and he drops the book useless onto the ground, and he turns his attention on you.
All right.
So next up is the Reverend, and he is pretty peeved.
I figured.
So he is going to run at you because he cannot make it there with just his pace. So he still can't make it. He is 5 feet away from you. He rolled a 1 on his running die. So he is 5 feet away from you. He has, of all things, a sword. So he's running at you with like this ghastly looking sword. And it's pretty weird. You don't typically see people wandering around with swords.
That's the weirdest thing I've seen today.
No, it's not. It's far from the weirdest thing you've seen. But that's what he's doing, I think. Yes, that is what he's doing.
All right.
Because he's pissed, so he's just like running. And then next up are all the cultists who are going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 move closer to you guys. There are 13 of them, I think, if I counted right. Because it's the deacon and all the flunkies. So they are all running towards you. And then next up is Annabelle.
Okay.
The Reverend is about 5 feet from you.
Fantastic. I will pull out my special gun since he is just so close. And fantastic. That is a 11.
11?
Yep.
To hit?
Yep.
Okay, so that's an extra d6 damage. Go ahead and roll damage.
So that will be 15 damage.
15 damage. Where's his toughness? His toughness is not great. He's a priest. So that is...
We established the +3 is only on the actual skill roll and not damage, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So it's still 15?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, that is 2 wounds. You level your sawed-off shotgun in his face and shoot out at him, and he takes it full in the face and chest, and he has 2 wounds, and he's looking kind of rough. New round of initiative. I'm sorry that Jericho and Brother Wolf did not end up in the church.
How many rounds will it take Jericho to get here?
Probably... That's a good one. That's probably 5. Let me see. Let me do some math. Hold on. We can say 3. 3 makes more sense to me because it's not that far. Brother Wolf is just not. Brother Wolf is like down the street. He is not going to make it unless this fight takes an uncommonly long time.
Aw.
I'm sorry. And I am keeping track of turns because I had to for Cheval anyway. So Annabelle gets a 9, Eliza gets an ace, Cheval gets a 2, and the cultists get a 6. So Eliza's up first. The Reverend is 5 feet in front of you and has just been sent reeling due to this shotgun blast to the face.
All right, cue the Benny Hill music. I'm running. I'm gonna grab Annabelle and we're running.
Okay. Are you running for that back door?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And you guys are the first 2 in the initiative order, so I'll let you do that if you want.
Annabelle?
Can I shoot as I'm running backwards? Like, I move my 6 spaces and shoot him?
You can.
Okay. I will,
But Eliza is, like, going for the door, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it open, ready to go, so we can just Benny Hill out of there.
Okay.
I'll move 6 squares back, but pull out my, Colt and shoot him.
Okay. Sounds good. So go ahead and roll shooting.
6.
6?
Mhm.
Okay. So, that'll hit, so roll damage.
14 points of damage that time.
14. Okay. So he was already shaken, and he had 2 wounds. So you're gonna push him over. You shoot him in the head, and he falls backwards. And as he is falling backwards, there is a kind of dark presence that comes out of him, stares at you two with inhuman blood red eyes before it screeches and like shatters out of existence. And with that shattering, all of the stained glass windows in the church get blown in as just a wave of arcane force comes away from the Reverend's dead body. So you guys are not particularly near the windows, but I'm still gonna have you roll agility just to make sure you don't get hit with any glass.
Oh my god, this is my 8th ace tonight. I don't know what happened with these dice. I just rolled 2 aces in a row. What the hell? Okay, so that's a 17. What the heck? I don't roll like this at all.
So you definitely don't get hit by flying glass.
Got a 5.
5, and you don't get hit by flying glass either. But yours is less cool. Like Eliza goes diving out the door and does a spin in the air and lands on her feet. You just kind of throw yourself out the door and land on the ground.
That's fine. I was busy shooting things.
But you're outside. There's a beat. There's another beat. You wait. You don't hear anything. And then if you're gonna get up and peek back in the church, I don't know if that's what you want to do, but you can if you would like.
As long as we're not getting chased. That's what I'm terrified of.
Well, Annabelle peeks into the church. All of the cultists are dead from the flying glass. It says that in the module that any of the remaining cultists are killed by the flying glass. So you are not being chased. And in fact, there is nothing left alive here in this church besides the 2 of you.
Hey, the bell didn't ring.
And you're absolutely correct. The bell did not ring.
I think we did it.
Eliza's just gonna sit on the ground and light up a cigarette, then hand another one over to Annabelle just in case.
Or
After a second, Jericho runs over.
Yeah, I happened upon, not knowing where everybody else ended up. I didn't know that they ended up in the church, right?
Well, you knew that they were trying to get to the church.
Okay. So yeah, I'd come out of the hotel. I imagine just at the time that I see all the glass kind of exploding into the church and these 2 gals running out of it as I run towards them. Are you two all right? Are you hurt?
no, surprisingly.
No. Where?
And the Reverend?
They're dead.
Shot him in the face.
Must have been a gas leak.
Damn gas leaks. Something exploded and all the people inside died too. It's weird.
Yeah, and actually roll a cult for what you both saw.
And do you think that that's the end of it?
I got a 1.
A dirty one.
A 1.
Not a critical fail,
Okay.
because I'm unskilled.
I got a 9.
You got a 9? Okay. Yeah, you recognize that creature that came out of Reverend Cheval when he died and that shattered was a Manitou. So he was being possessed by a demon. Perhaps that was the cause of all of the problems happening in town. But that was a Manitou.
So I think something called a Manitou. I think that's what it was called. I think it was possessing the preacher, but that's what bursted out of him when I shot him. We can go back to the mines and see if that spirit's still there. He might still be trapped, I'm not sure.
Well, it's worth a shot. When you say Manitou, Eliza just goes cold. Like, just absolute no color in her face after that.
Yep, you certainly do.
Do I notice this?
Roll notice.
I got a 5.
Were you trying to hide it, Eliza?
I don't think after the day she's had, like, especially the Annabelle, she probably was hiding it. Now, if the Reverend was here, oh yeah, she'd be hiding it. But, this is different.
Yeah, so you definitely notice that her face just grows incredibly pale when you say the word Manitou.
I take it you ran into them before?
Well, if we're talking simplicities, yes.
Well, let's go make sure the spirit's freed after we find Brother Wolf, of course.
That would
And
be
then-
wise.
We can talk about that later. If you.
And Brother Wolf, make a strength check
Alrighty.
to try to break out of this boarded up library that you're in.
Not good. It's a 4.
4? Okay. So
Horrible.
it takes you a bit, and you're like kicking, and you're kicking, and you're kicking at the door, but eventually you get it open, and you stumble out into the street. And for the first time in Coffin Rock, you see other people on the street. You see citizens out looking around. People have come out of the Jewel Theater, people have come out of the saloon, and they're looking around and taking in the atmosphere, which seems it's the light of day, but somehow it seems brighter, happier. You don't know why, but your compatriots do.
I'm just immediately gonna start heading over towards the church as fast as I can.
Okay.
Because I still have no idea what's going on. I still am worried.
And you guys meet in the street. You see Brother Wolf coming towards you.
Annabelle will wave.
What happened? I got stuck in some library or something.
You want the long story or the short story?
I want the entire story.
Guess that's the long one. Eliza and I arrived at the church. The preacher was doing some type of ritual to summon something. I'm gonna pretend Eliza told me that. I don't think I actually physically knew that information.
Neither of you like specifically knew that. You could tell that he was reading from a book, and it was inhumane, the sounds he was making. So it's a fair logical leap for you to make.
I'm assuming he was summoning something. Eliza shot the book, pissed him right off, which was hilarious. I shot him twice. He died. And when he died, something called a Manitou came out of him and exploded the windows. We barely got out of the way, but the people following the good preacher did not get a chance to get out of the way of the glass.
Oh my. Well, I'm glad you're all safe. And I saw some people back there. It actually looks like a little bit of life is returning to this place.
We were thinking we would go back to the mines to check and make sure that spirit's freed. I don't know what hold was on him.
That might be a good idea. Does Brother Wolf know what a Manitou is?
Do you have a cult?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll a cult.
That's a 3.
3?
Yeah.
You might have heard the word before, but you don't know what it means.
Okay. I guess we should go find this, see if this thing is still around.
So you guys are going to go back to the mines?
Well, I was going to ask, do we think if he was trying to complete some sort of ritual in the church, are we sure that whatever we're looking for is not in the church? Like, I would bring up the altar again. That seemed a little out of place, being how weird it was to look at and it being made out of copper and all that.
He did seem to get here rather quickly, too, so maybe there's some sort of connection between the two.
He used the teleportation to get there, just like we did.
Yeah, that is probably fair.
I mean, we can look in the church, see what we find, instead of walking all the way over there.
Yeah, let's at least start there.
The port was very unsteady, though. Second trip, we might not get where we're supposed to go. Or worse.
Okay. So you guys are going to head back into the church?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if we do happen to go through that portal again and you get stuck in a library, there's a window that has a little bit of a board taken off. Go that way.
Good to know.
All right. So, for Jericho and Brother Wolf, it's quite a sight inside this church. There are dead bodies of the cultists littering the ground. And you can see Reverend Cheval in a pool of blood in the center aisle. All the stained glass windows have been burst inward, so you are crunching on glass as you walk through the church.
Yeah, Brother Wolf is just going to start going from body to body, praying for each one.
Okay. As you approach the altar, Jericho, you can see the reflection of that earth spirit Ticini in the altar. And as you approach, he says, "With his death, I have been freed. Thank you." And unless you have anything else you want to say to him, he's gonna kind of skedaddle and get back to being an earth spirit.
Nice meeting you.
No, I think that's that. I mean, that just tells us what we needed to know, that we don't need to go back to the mines. So
Yeah.
well, it looks like the earth spirit is finally free, and whatever sort of darkness was over this town is gone.
Well, that's good.
But that still leaves us, well, with not having the purpose that we came here for.
Can I check over the fake pastor's body? I just want to see if he has any kind of identification.
He has that very creepy, unhallowed blade on him.
Definitely not touching that.
And he also has a copy of the Book of the New Covenant.
Does it seem like there's a name written inside it?
That's a good point. Hold on one second. So when you flip open to the front cover of his book, you can see that it was originally like a blank notebook, and it has been handwritten, filled in, and the inside cover says Sacred Heart Asylum.
Dun, dun, dun.
Great.
So this reverend was an inmate at an asylum, and you can gather that was perhaps where he acquired his Manitou. But with the fact that we have about 10 minutes left to wrap up, and the fact that you have killed the big bad of the town, it is a matter of simply going out with the help of Shelley Daly to round up Hank Mayhem Archer and his men. You are even able to do it peaceably, which is nice because the bounty is higher if you bring them in alive.
Fantastic.
So that is easy enough to do with the help of the town. The town, by the way, is confused, incredibly confused, but grateful to you because they can tell that all of the madness that was seeping into their lives has been lifted.
Fantastic. Guys,
Yeah.
look, we did good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would return all the deeds to Miss Daly.
And as the deeds are returned, she takes possession of the town like her father had. Her father was the one who, you come to find out, was the one who established the town in the first place. And she is elected as the new mayor of the town. So you guys stay for at least a little bit while the town is getting fixed back up. And you are dining on the goodwill of all of the people there. You don't have to pay for a single thing while you're there. Everybody is grateful to you. Within a week, a new copper vein is discovered in the hills, and new claims are being made all over, and most prove very profitable. But the cooked earth mine does the best. Copper is found in every tunnel, and news seems open almost daily. Before long, news has traveled of the return of good times, and Coffin Rock booms again.
Right.
We did it.
Yeah.
You did do it. You did it.
Well, I mean, I should say it was the gals. The gals did it.
It was a group effort.
We needed all the help we could get.
You wouldn't have shot me twice.
I was
in the
trying
back.
to make sure that the end fight was not easy. Okay. I was trying to be a good player and ensure that my Marshal was giving a hard, unfair fight to the PCs.
If you had failed to prevent him from summoning that demon, it would have been a real big problem for you guys, I have to say.
Oh yeah, I've had to fight one of those in Deadlands game, and let me tell you, it is not fun.
Good thing
At all.
I'll shoot in the book then.
But I hope you guys had fun.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you guys for joining. It was a frickin' blast. I am so glad that we were able to get this all wrapped up, even though it took 2 or 3 episodes, technically 2 sessions together. So everybody please go check out Mary, Alan, and Ellen, and also check out GM Table as well for lending us Mary for quite a few days.
Happy to help.
And check out Keith on his new streams. But I will play all that again for y'all to happy to listen. And you can find us on beholdertoknowone.com or on Twitter or Facebook or wherever podcasts can be found. We've officially hit 1,000 Twitter followers today. So hooray! And that's all. So see you next time. Bye!